Hello, my friends. Happy Monday. Welcome to Getting Started. My name is Masalska, and I'm your host for today and for tomorrow's stream of Getting Started. We are going to be working in Adobe Capture today, and we're also going to use some CC libraries, which I'm really excited. Let me know in the chat where you guys are tuning in from. I see there are a lot of people already there. There is Tim, Noor, Ruth, Andreas, Akash is here. Cool, Viola, KB, Anthony. Yeah, cool. 2 Anthonys we have. Awesome. Guys, feel free to grab a coffee. Let's get this week started. Let's look at some amazing designs and get some inspirations. So my friends, today I think the whole goal is to basically kind of show you guys how I create my inspirational libraries. And that includes typefaces, that includes shapes, colors, and we are going to be working in Adobe Capture to kind of collect some of these assets and put them together in different ways and kind of create your own assets for future projects. I like doing that because whenever I have a project, I already kind of have a bunch of things that I have collected in the past, and it's really amazing to kind of look at them and to get some inspirations. And thanks everybody for joining in on YouTube. Make sure to join us on be.net/live. This is where I'm reading the chat, and this is where you will be able to ask some questions if you have any. All right, my friends. So today we're going to be working on an iPad, and usually when I go to the store, sometimes I use Adobe Capture on my iPhone, so you can download the app on your regular smartphone, or of course you can use an iPad. I have this iPad Pro that I'm going to be using today to show you guys how this works. And yesterday I already did a trip to the store, and I have taken a lot of pictures that we can use for our inspiration library, and I'm really excited to do this with you guys. Anthony saying just made new brushes in Adobe Capture. That's so awesome. Yeah, we will take a look. There is so much you can do with Adobe Capture. I'm really excited to kind of go through that with you guys. Cosmic from YouTube, make sure to join us on be.net/live. This is where I'm reading the chat. Cool. Anthony's saying hi. Denise is here from Sweden. KB is here from Louisiana, USA. Ooh. Christina is saying coffee has been grabbed. In my case as well, coffee has been grabbed. It is just waiting to be drank. All right. Let's get this week started, my friends, and let's jump onto my iPad so that I can show you guys what we're going to be working with today. So let's quickly look at the Apple Store. As you can see, I have a ton of applications. Don't feel shy to download all of them. So we're going to go into the Apple Store, and I'm going to show you guys how to download Capture on your mobile device. You can also do it from your phone. Feel free to also do it yourself at this time, and just feel free to kind of work together and do your own thing on the side as well. So I'm looking for Capture. All right. How are you all doing? Let me know what was up on the weekend. What have you guys been up to? And as you can see, I already have Adobe Capture Creative Camera installed, and now I'm clicking open, and this is what it looks like. So I have different libraries here, and I can choose from my libraries that I already have. But today we're going to create a new library because we want to create, an inspiration library for ourselves. By the way, let me know how the tunes are in the background. Do you guys hear the music, or is it a little too quiet? KB is asking what program are we using this morning, and it is Adobe Capture. And later on, we're also going to jump into Illustrator to kind of edit the assets and, to put them into our CC libraries and, organize the things properly. Cool, Victor is here. Awesome. Hi, good to see you. Cool, guys. So today we're going to create a new library, and it's going to be, I have to stop using my keyboard because I keep on typing on my typing on my keyboard, which is not what I want. Okay, so my new library will be called Inspiration. Inspiration library, create. I'm not very good at typing quickly on the iPad, but bear with me, we're going to be fine. By the way, guys, I brought some really cool assets for you to kind of see how to do it in person. So I have some candles that I bought. I really love this brand. It's a really amazing brand from Target. And I also have this soap bottle that I think is very well designed that you cannot see because it's half of it is green. So the green is being filtered out. That's why you are not able to see it. Cool. KB is saying I've never used Adobe Capture. KB, you know what? Adobe Capture is awesome on the go when you're in the store, when you see some amazing color palettes or a design that you want to save for yourself, make sure to try it out. And I also do some fun things like, taking color palettes from, from nature or stuff like that. So that can be really exciting. Awesome. All right, my friends. So let's jump right into it and let's get started. So we have here different things that we can capture with Adobe Capture. We have materials, we have type. Let's quickly take a look with an example of an image that I took. So I'm clicking here, import image, and I have already a full camera roll with a bunch of photos that I've took for you guys. So I went into the store and I took a look at different kind of brands, and I was looking at the different, brands that have different SKUs. So I can show you guys how Capture can help you understand how, a whole brand system is being designed. And that can be really helpful for you to just learn, being a designer, and just, closely watching how big companies are doing it. You can easily learn it and, kind of adapt it for yourself. So that's really, really cool. Anthony's saying, use Adobe Capture to make brushes for Photoshop and Fresco. That's super cool. That's awesome. Yeah, that's really, really exciting. As you can see, I took some really cool images here. And now I already kind of selected an image. And as you can see, I'm here in the type selection. So I can select the typefaces that are on this packaging. I can also go onto materials and I can create a whole material and use it for Adobe Dimension, for example. Adobe Dimension is a program where you can create 3D models and mockups. So it's a really, really amazing software. If you haven't tried it yet, make sure to try it out. It's really, really cool. All right, so and then what else do we have? We have some shapes. So Capture can help us extract shapes and bring them into a vector format. So that's really, really awesome. Then we have the colors, of course, which is going to be our primary focus today. Here we have this black, then we have this, green color, and then we have this white color that is part of this color palette, which we are going to summarize kind of the products of this brand because I have taken a couple pictures of this Verse brand. And, each product has their own color palette, and it's going to be really exciting to see how, how they're using color palettes. So here on the left side, we also are able to extract a gradient, which is also super cool in case you want to try that out. That can be really exciting as well. And then on the right side, if we keep on scrolling down, kind of looking through the menu, we will see that there is also looks. So looks basically takes all the colors that are in the image and organizes them by the quantity of the color. So you will be able to see, okay, so the most color that appears in this image is this light beige at the top, and so on. So this can be also really exciting. And another cool thing is patterns, guys. How cool is that? So you can literally create a pattern of any image and you can save it to your CC libraries and then use it in Illustrator and apply it to different things. That can be really, really cool when you're out in nature and you have your mobile phone with you, just taking a couple of pictures and then creating really cool patterns for yourself. And you can even print that out and create posters and whatnot. So it can be really, really exciting. And on the left side, you will find different settings for the pattern. So yeah, it can be really exciting to just play around with it, and then we will have different you know, filters. We have the exposure filter, the highlight filter, the shadow, and so on. So we don't have to select all of them, but we can just go through kind of through them and, you know, check what we can get. And even just, you know, having some line art can be really, really cool. And you know, having something abstract to use for your packaging, let's say, can be really, really awesome. Jennifer is saying patterns are cool. Yeah, I totally agree. So I think that can be really, really exciting. And then we can even make a brush out of that. So for that, we can kind of add and subtract the different textures basically of the image. And yeah, and so and there's a lot of cool things that you can create with Capture. But now let's take a quick look. What else do we have? So we have the materials, we have the type, we have the shapes, we have the colors, we have the looks, patterns, and brushes, right? So all those things you can extract from an image, and it can be a live image. So let's say I want to do it right now, and I want to try with you guys how that works. So I have this little candle that I'm just putting in front of my camera here. And so let's say I want to take an image of that, and I want to kind of capture, I want to figure out what kind of typeface this is. So I'm taking the picture, and now I have the, I have the brushes here, but I don't want to, let's go back to colors. So I'm going back to colors. I can also, of course, just import an image, but I just wanted to show you guys how this whole thing works. So this is cool. We have some colors here already, and we have this green, we have this yellow. I think that's super cool. An important thing here, guys, is to hold the product the right way so that the light kind of can reflect and show you the color way better. So let's take a picture of that. And right now I have the gradient on. Then there is a lot of stuff that you can do and play around with, like harmonies and stuff. Okay, let's see. I want to actually extract the plain colors. So I just want to, and then you can go ahead and kind of like move them around and find the colors that you actually want. And those are actually pretty cool colors. I think I'm going to save them already to my library. This green kind of, I might need to edit a little bit. But that's fine. That's totally cool. And let's take a couple of these green tones. They can be really interesting. Okay, so I'm going to take this image, and now as you can see, I already have a color palette here. Now, if we have something very simple like this, it's very easy to kind of extract the colors. But let's take a look at another image that I had, which was really cool. Let's say if you have a brand like LaCroix or something. LaCroix has so many colors in one SKU that it can be really interesting to take a look at what exactly the colors are, because usually we're taking in kind of the inspiration, but you know, we're never really taking a closer look. So if for you, in order to understand how brands create things like that, it's really cool to kind of take a very close look at this. So let's extract this very bright green. And as you can see, those pictures that I took, I only taken with the iPhone. I'm just using the iPad now to kind of show you guys and to have a bigger screen, of course, because I don't want to be here with my iPhone. Okay, cool. And Kasha is asking, do you guys use pattern from Capture? Yeah, totally. You can do that. You can extract a pattern and then, you know, create some cool line art, for example. Just on mobile or iPad, or can you have it on computer when create patterns? Can find it on computer. Denise, that's a really good question. You know what? So these things that you capture basically with your mobile devices. So Capture is available for the iPad and for the mobile, I believe also Android and iOS phones. So it's an application-based app. And so you always have it on the go, but you can save those things to your CC libraries. And now let me show you guys quickly an example how I do this here with this packaging. So I'm going to extract some of these colors here. We have this yellow, we have this pink, we have this green, then we have this red. It's a really, really bright color palette, and we have 2 shades of pink even, which is super cool. All right, so now let's say we want to save this color palette, and maybe we even want to make a pattern out of that. Let's say we want to make a pattern, or we want to use the shape. So let's say you found a really nice autumn leaf, and you want to use the shape of that for your next branding project, right? So I would take this leaf and I would take a picture of that, and maybe I would even use the outlines of that. So this is where Capture kind of comes in and helps you extract the vector out of the things that you see, right? So that is super, super cool. All right, but I want to go back into colors because I'm interested in the colors a lot, and I want to kind of see what type of color palettes does LaCroix use and be able to understand what's their system, you know, because if you have a lot of products, you need to keep on producing color palettes, and they need to be kind of cohesive with each other, but they all need to look different because they're different products, so that the customer can differentiate the products, right? So let's take a look at this. I have this lighter pink, I have this darker pink. Actually that's the same red. Just make sure to understand the same colors, because right now I have several shades of pink because I have a light situation, so the light can kind of fall into place, and it can create a lighter color, but we can edit those later on. So I think those are the basic main colors right now that I could extract from this image. So now let's click OK, and now we have this color palette, right? And this is just one SKU of the LaCroix. Now I'm clicking save, and I already want to save it to my inspiration library, but of course you can go in here and you can select the library that you want to save it to in case you are not in the right library yet, or you can create a new one by clicking the plus sign. So yeah, and then you can also publish the color themes, which goes onto I believe the inspirations page of color.adobe.com. So you can also share those, but I'm clicking save right now, and now as you can see, I have in my inspirations, I have this color palette, and let's quickly jump onto Illustrator, and I'm going to show you guys that that this color palette is already in my CC libraries. So let's say I want to kind of create a web large presentation or something like that, or maybe I want to start a branding project, and I have my libraries here. So I'm going to open my libraries, and then I'm going to go into my inspiration library, and my color palette is already there. So I can literally jump into Illustrator and use it right away. So now let's take a look how this works with shapes. Sean is saying old flip phone. Well, that's too bad because you're missing out. It's so much fun to play with these things. Can we do this on a laptop? Danielle is saying, asking, can we do this on a laptop? So it's a mobile application. It's available on your phone or on your iPad, or if you have an iPad. But I would recommend it for your phone because most of the times you have your smartphone with you anyway. Let's say you go somewhere in the nature, or you go into the store, or you go places, you know, where you can get those inspirations. So I would recommend you guys use it for the phone. If you have the chance to have like a smaller tablet with you, or if you want to do a separate trip just for that, that's super, super cool. All right, my friends. So now let's extract a couple more SKUs, and I want to kind of be able to analyze the color palettes that LaCroix is using for their branding, right? Because that will also help me to understand how to put my own color palettes together. Cool. Samantha is saying magic. Hi Sam, good to see you. Happy Monday. Yeah, it's super cool. It's a very, very interesting kind of tool to you know, experiment with. All right, so now let's go into the next SKU. We're going into again into my camera roll, and I have already exported this image, right? So I want to go into the next SKU, and I want to see what kind of color palettes is LaCroix using in their next SKU, right? So the next one is watermelon, and as you can see, the color palette is very different, but what kind of unifies those things are the similar kind of shapes, those kind of brush strokes that they're using, and they're creating these abstract kind of patterns to you know, to bring all of those cues together. So let's try this again. So we have this green, then we have this light pink, then we have this dark blue, and then we have this red here again. And what else? And they also use some white here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors again. Where's our other oops, come here, I need you right here. Okay, so we have 2 shades of pink, we have this red, and we have the blue, and we have this really bright green. All right, so now let's click again, okay, and we're saving it. Okay, and again I'm saving it to the inspiration library. So now I have my second color palette saved. Yay. I should have given it 5 stars. I always click away. Okay, so I have color theme 1, 2, color theme 1. Now let's go and rename them. So color theme 2 is, let's see our SKUs. I want to take a quick look. Okay, so the first SKU is, what is it? Hibiscus. Okay, so the first SKU is hibiscus. So I'm going to rename these, so I have kind of an idea of what I'm dealing with here. Rename hibiscus. And you know what, it can be really helpful for you later on to kind of create your own color palettes and to see how kind of, you know, the fruits come into play. How does the brand kind of show the different fruits, the different taste, right? And I think it's a really interesting thing to do. All right, so the next one was watermelon, right? So let's go and rename this one to watermelon. By the way, guys, if you have any questions or any things you want me to try on the live stream, please let me know. I also have something really interesting that I want to try a little bit later, and I have taken an image of pumpkins, and we can extract this, you know, this pumpkin spice latte theme, and maybe we can create something cool out of that. Okay, all right, Tim is saying impressive, yay. Capture is really amazing, and I'm really happy that it's there. Cool. Ruth is saying I don't really like the branding design of LaCroix, too much going into the design. Yes, I agree. I'm not a big fan. I like more abstract things, but we're going to go into different other brands in a little bit, like Boom Chica Pop. I think they're really cool, and they have really cool color palettes as well. So let's just start with this one, and then we can organize it in our Illustrator, and then we can jump into the next one, and then we can see what kind of similarities are there between their design systems, right? Like how the different brands kind of handle the colors. And I can tell you right now already that that not every brand has this many colors, because 5 colors that are super bright is not very often. All right, cool. Hi Robzilla, good to see you. Thank you so much. All right. Good. Felix is here. Hi from Texas. Cool. Nora is saying Bum Chikawa. I'm gonna show you. It's a popcorn brand that I really love as well. I love their branding. I'm not a big fan of sweet popcorn, but I'm gonna show you that in a little bit. Okay, so we have watermelon here. Melon, watermelon, save. We have hibiscus and watermelon. So let's jump into the next SKU. The next SKU will be, all right, so Bum Chika Pop is this one. This one, it's really fun. It's a really fun branding, but this is going to be our next one. So, and when I was taking pictures yesterday at Target, I was just blown away by all the inspiration that I could get. All right, so next one up is, again, we have this blue. It kind of repeats itself. I don't know if you guys have noticed. And then we have this orange, and then we have this lighter green. That's, you know, more like a minty green, and then there is a darker minty green, And then there is this yellow. And have we forgotten anything? We have 2 shades of green as well. So there are so many colors, literally. It's just amazing. Okay, so let's keep this one lime green and then add this other one to it. I think that will describe the branding a little bit better. Okay, so now I'm clicking OK. And this one was what? I want to see what's that one. That's key lime. Okay. All right. So we have these, and then we can also go in here and look for harmonies and look for the image and go back and kind of adjust if we need to. Okay, so color theme 3, and let's name it right here, key lime. Okay, key lime, save. All right, so we have 3 SKUs already, and there are so many colors. I mean, I think it's crazy. And if you look at my Illustrator, it keeps on updating here. So whenever I add a color palette to my CC library, it updates instantly. So this is really, really cool. And you can even work, you know, on 2 things at the same time on your, let's say on your iPad or on your phone. And then, you know, you save it to your CC libraries and bam, it's right there on your Illustrator. All right, let's go back to my iPad. Let's go to the next SKU. Import image, there we go. Okay, so the next one up is number 4, and it is pamplemousse. That is so much, you know, more harmonic, I feel. But let's just try to understand it. We're not here to judge, we're here to understand, because it is a successful brand. So why are they successful? I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of their you know, colors and color palettes and using too much color, but they're very successful. And as designers, we're here to understand how are they targeting their audience, you know, by using those elements, by using a lot of color. Maybe the reason for that was that they wanted to stand out on the shelf, and they want to use different kind of shapes that are not very, you know, common with the competitors. So that's also very important to understand kind of how does the brand uses color and shapes. All right, so I think pretty much, where is the last slider? I think we have this darker blue, and now we have actually another blue that I'm just going to ignore right now because this is just too many colors. All right, save, and now this is going to be pamplemousse, right? How do you write that? Pamplemousse. Okay. All right, pamplemousse. All right, done. And again, I'm saving it to inspiration. Save. There we go. We already have 4 SKUs, guys, and the last one up, and then we can create kind of a group of that. So I can put it into my CC libraries and save it as a group. So I can say, hey, this is their LaCroix branding, and these are the colors that they're using. So I can take a look at it later and see, okay, how are they actually targeting their audience? And maybe if I have to target the same audience with a different product, I can kind of remind the clients of the specific color palettes that they're already used to through LaCroix, right? This is actually what it's all about, guys. It's all about kind of analyzing and researching how brands work. Here you can see my fancy shoes. These are Skechers, by the way, in case you know that song about the Skechers. Okay. All right, so again, I'm moving these sliders, and this is again way too many colors. I'm just ignoring the second yellow here. Yeah, I think that should be it. Oh yeah, this yellow I think I will put into the pink. Yes, again, we have a crazy bright color palette, but let's edit and save. And oops, no. Okay, so what kind of taste was that? That was limoncello. Okay, limoncello. Okay, so again, I'm saving it, and now you can see I already have 5 SKUs that I have saved, and I couldn't find more, honestly. And as you can see, I have them already updated here in my inspiration board. So now we have these color themes, right? So if I'm going to add another one, I can group those and I can create, you know, I can organize those colors in brands. So let's say I want to create a folder here at the bottom on Illustrator. Let me see if I can zoom in here so you guys can see what I mean. So this is the folder symbol. If you click that, you will be able to create a new folder. Okay, so which is a group basically. So let me select all of these. Okay, create a new group, view by group. Okay, so now right now I have switched on view by type. As you can see here, my inspiration is showing me view by type, but type is basically color, typefaces, you know, all the different things that you can add into the CC library. But now I'm going to see view by group. So now I'm going to create a group, and my new group will be called LaCroix, because these are the colors of LaCroix, and I can see really well organized my different SKUs, and I know that this is hibiscus, and this is how they're showing key lime, and this is how they're showing limoncello and pamplemousse and watermelon, and so on. So now we're going to create a new group, which is going to be called, give me a new group. A new group will be called Boom Chicka Pop. Hopefully I'm spelling it correctly. Boom Chicka Pop. Okay, let's go back into my inspiration, and you know what? I'm going to now import the Boom Chicka Pop. All right. So oh, I misspelled it actually. It's Chica with CH. Let's see if I can rename it here. Rename group. Boom Chicka Pop. Let me know in the comments, guys. Have you ever created you know, a library like this, or would you want to try it? That would be really, really nice to know. Hi Henry, good to see you. Is it possible to set up a primary and secondary color? From what I know, well, you can use, of course, the looks setting, right? So here you will definitely see the primary color. It has the biggest you know, space on the bar, so you will be able to see that this is the primary color. But right now I'm interested in all the colors because I just want to understand the color palette that the brand is using. Hi Celia, hi Jerry, good to see you. Anthony saying blue limoncello, blue lemonade. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what that means. I'm not sure what the taste of limoncello is. I'm guessing it's a little bit sour and a little bit sweet. Okay, Ruth is saying, do you have the option to save the colors in RGB or CMYK? That's a good question. So let's take a look at how these colors are actually saved. I think they're saved in a hex code, which is basically a digital code, but I am not sure. So let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this. So I'm going to I just have created a rectangle in Illustrator, and I'm going to apply one of these colors. So I'm just going to click here, bam, or bam, or bam. It's so easy to use these color palettes, honestly, guys. You just click on the color and yeah, and it appears. Well, we are here in RGB mode, and the color is defined as hex code, but it also has CMYK values. So depending on, I guess, I'm not sure about the answer to this, but I'm thinking that these are colors that you kind of later on have to specify a little bit better depending on the file that you're using, because right now my file is set up to RGB color. I'm not sure how that will look like. Well, let's switch to CMYK and let's see what happens. Didn't change much. We'll have to figure it out. We'll have to figure it out. If there's anybody in the chat who knows, let us know. That would be awesome to know. It's a very good question though, because it's important to work in the right color mode, right? I think for us to kind of have this, the properly coded file, we do need to kind of set it up in the beginning. Cool. Carol is saying, do you use them for client stat sheets? sometimes I think it's really cool to kind of use this as a basis for your research. So let's say you have a client presentation and you want to show your client, hey, I did some research. So you told me that your clients always go shopping at Whole Foods. So I went to Whole Foods and I researched the color palettes of the different products that they're used to, the products that they're always consuming, so that the product that we're going to make is going to look very familiar to them, you know. And you know, to use these libraries kind of as research resource, I think is a really great idea. And you know, just to kind of drag and drop them into your research file or presentation, I think can be really useful, and it shows that you kind of have taken the next step. And so let's say I want to let me actually jump into here and let me show you guys how I would create something like this. So if I had a presentation like that, I would probably do something like let me airdrop one of these images over to Illustrator real quick, so I can show you guys how I would kind of arrange it on a, you know, in a presentation. Okay, so I have this image here. Oh no. Okay, I have to convert it real quick to a JPEG. Let's see. So it shows it that I have it in the Hake kind of file, but I can easily just export it as a JPEG. Save. Okay, so now where's my image? So now let's say where did it go? Where did it go? Please come back. Please come back. Please come back. You know what? I'm going to just make a screenshot out of this because I don't want to wait. I'm an impatient person. Okay, so let's say I have my thing here, my screenshot. Where is it? Desktop. Oh, there is also the image. Okay, so let's say I'm doing a research kind of for my client, and I have I know that I have taken a bunch of pictures of the competitors, of the branding that we're kind of, you know, working towards. So let's say I'm you know, I took this image, but also I took the color palette of it, and I know this is pamplemousse, so I'm looking for pamplemousse here, and we have pamplemousse there, right there. And so now I'm just going to go ahead and kind of create a little color palette underneath to kind of show how the color is being used, right? So I'm just doing something like this, just like so. And now I'm just going to grab the different colors of pamplemousse, right? Bam. And it's really, really easy. So you just have to basically click on the color, and it's not much work of, at all. So now I would kind of make a little collection of the different SKUs that they have, right? So I would have all the different SKUs on like a slide arranged nicely, so I can say, hey, look at LaCroix, they're using so much color, so how can we stand out, and how can we create something that you know, will be interesting to them, will be interesting to that client. All right, my friends, so now let's get back to Boom Chicka Pop, and let's create another group. Let's create another library. So now let's see, what else do we have here? I always like to kind of play around and see what kind of options we have. Okay, so we have this purple right here, then we have this pink, then we have this, oops, come here, slider. Then we have this dark purple, and what else do we have? We have this kind of in-between color. We have this in-between color that's kind of like a, not sure, like a purple, something in between. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so, and then what else do we have? And then we have white, of course. So where's our last slider? There it is. So our last slider we put on white. So this is basically the color palette of this packaging. So now I'm going to click OK. All right. And this is going to be This is going to be our Bom Chicka Pop sweet and salty kettle corn, right? Sweet and salty. And you know what? The interesting thing here is that whenever you create color palettes for one product, it's not impossible to use those color palettes for another product. So let's say I know that my clients that I'm kind of creating a design for are eating a lot of Bom Chicka Pop, right? I know that they're familiar to these colors and that they like these type of designs. So now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to take a close look at the design, right? I'm going to take a close look at the Bom Chicka Pop packaging, and I'm going to create something that's very familiar and that's kind of very inviting for them, right? So if they already like this product, the chances are high that they're going to like, let's say, a cosmetic product that will look similar, right? So using similar colors, using similar typefaces, or even using similar hues or contrasts. So now let's take a look at the typefaces here. So let's try find this pop typeface, or Bom Chicka Pop. It's actually all the same typeface. But we have already found some typefaces that are supposed to be similar. Of course, I have to look through here and I will have to find something that works best. And plus, the arrangement here is not the best because we have this packaging that's super, bent and so on. So maybe just using two letters will be better. So I'm just going to use these O and P, which is not a good, it's not a good amount of resource for Capture to kind of find the right typeface. But this one, Breaker's Bold, kind of already looks like it, and Social Gothic Demi Bold looks like it. I think this could be actually, let me take a look. So here, when you kind of have a situation like this, when you kind of want to try to figure out the typefaces, I will take a closer look at how the letters are made, right? So let's take a look at the O, and let's take a look at the O here in Monarch. So you will be able to see that the O's are very, very similar. So Capture did a really good job here to find the typeface. So, but I'm thinking that the caps of Bom Chicka Pop actually will not have those lowercase caps that they have here, the E and the A. So let's see if we have any alternatives to that. And by the way, those typefaces are all available on Adobe Fonts, right? So you can just activate them in your libraries, which is really, really amazing. Not libraries, in your type kit. Okay, cool. So let's see. Where was it? And I think also the system kind of sees what I think works best with it and kind of aligns itself, I think, over time, because we have Sensei, we have all these smart things that are going on in Adobe. Cool. Anthony is saying the name is starting to become catchy. Yes, totally. Alexei is saying hello. Hi, Alexei. Anthony is saying Bom Chicka Pop. Yes, it's a very catchy name, and that's also a kind of a tool that you can use to, to kind of attract clients, because something when it's really catchy and when it looks fun, it definitely is inviting for certain type of, maybe for younger generation, maybe not exactly for older people, but for younger, exciting and fresh generation, we all fresh. That can be really exciting. Hi, Lori. No worries, you're good. I love this concept of picking colors and shading palettes to choose from. This is so helpful. Yes, totally. Yeah, we are here in Adobe Capture on our mobile devices for all of you guys who just joined. This is super cool. And Adobe Capture can be really, really exciting. Right now, we are kind of trying to extract text from the images, but I do have better images. I just wanted to stick with the color palettes right now. So let's go and continue with the next SKU of Bom Chicka Pop. By the way, guys, these are all images I took at the store yesterday. So, you can just make one trip to the store, spend maybe an hour there, and just go around, take pictures, and extract the color palettes and create yourself a really nice library. Okay, cool. So, so let's take a look. Where's our Bom Chicka Pop? It's somewhere at the bottom. Later on, we're also going to go into cosmetics, which is going to be really fun too. So as you can see, Bum Chicka Pop has a lot of interesting SKUs with different colors. But their like main graphical elements, as you can see, are these like rings, and then we have the very epic logo of Angie's, and then we have this very bold typeface, Bum Chicka Pop. So let's pick up a couple more kind of color palettes, and then we can go into Illustrator and try to kind of implement that style and try to analyze how Bum Chicka Pop is uniting the different SKUs and how they're using, you know, the different elements that are located on the packaging. All right, so let's go back into the color and let's extract this color palette here. So I'm going into this orange. That's awesome. That's perfect. It's always important to kind of find the right angle, especially if packaging is a little bit shiny. Make sure that when you take a picture, there is not too many reflections, and that you're able to grab the colors properly, and that they're not kind of too dark or too bright. And usually supermarkets have really great lights, especially if you're in the cosmetics department and you look at the products and you kind of point them towards the light, you will be able to take really great pictures. All right, so let's take a look at this. We have the white color here, we have this pink, we have an orange, we have this blue color here, and we have this darker blue that they're using for their graphical elements to kind of show the different qualities of the product. Whole grain, 60 calories, so very low calorie, non-GMO, gluten-free, so super cool. And then I see another color here that's like a red. I'm not sure if that's actually the same pink or not, but let's actually put this white slider on the red, because I think that's an important color and it's going to be kind of relevant for us. Okay, all right. So now we have the color palette of this Bum Chicka Pop SKU, and I'm going to click OK, accept, and I'm going to click save. And this is going to be our, wait a second, cheddar cheese. Okay, so we're going to call it cheddar cheese. Hey, cheddar cheese. Okay, save. There we go. Cool. Yeah, so we already have cheddar cheese and sweet and salty, and as I'm looking into my Illustrator, I can see that these two color palettes have been added as not group, because I have not created, well, I have created a group, but I have not organized them yet. So let's just pull them into this group, and so that they're kind of placed, organized, and that we can go into the next capture and, you know, kind of create this organization for ourselves. Cool. All right, so let's go to the next one, and the next one is going to be, what is going to be, okay, we have already taken a picture, a capture of the orange one, of the purple one. Now let's go into this one. I think this is a really cool color palette, guys. I mean, like, take a look at this combination, this kind of almost purple pink, and then this really light lemon lime yellow. Super cool. All right, so let's do this, and let's not forget to take a little sip of our coffee while we're kind of working through this, because we do want to kind of stay energized. I do. I'm always actually energized, but I still love the coffee. And I also love you guys' company. It's really cool to kind of start into the week and do something cool, do something inspiring. I'm going to show you something, guys, after I took a sip of this coffee, what else I'm doing to kind of get myself inspirations apart from, you know, having the colors digital. Oh, Emma, good question. Emma is asking, Julia, is there a difference in colors if you take the colors from the package and the product site? Yes, probably. Because first of all, the colors that are already printed on the packaging, they're already distorted, right? So they are CMYK colors probably. This probably has been a digital print. Now, let's try and see. I'm going to Google and I'm going to go onto Bum Chicka Pop. and I want to try to find their website. And we can even grab any of these images. So let's take a look at this. Maybe we can save an image and maybe we can extract the colors from there. All right, let's see. This is a really good question, because digital colors are always, of course, better. But if you look at, you know, natural products like a leaf, or if you want to take colors that are inspired by different kinds of trees, that can be, you know, a different kind of challenge. But yeah, totally. Look, so we have this image. So let's say we want to save this image, or let's say we want to save this image. Add to photos. And now we can totally go ahead and let me actually finish this one, or actually let's just jump back. And so now I have saved the image from the internet, and you can just go and save any images from from Behance, from Pinterest. It can be a screenshot, it can be, you know, it can be literally anything. So I think now we can have the colors a little bit more precise, of course. But you know what? Going to the store and kind of having this experience of, you know, holding the product, seeing how it is from all the sides, how it feels, I think it kind of gives a little bit more. But okay, let's do this, and I think this totally works as well. I mean, there's probably different ways to do this, and I mean, all of them are legit, and you guys can do it the way you want. I'm just here to kind of give you the idea that you can do it, and the way you do it can be whatever you guys like. All right, so I think this is pretty much the color palette. We have this pink, we have this purple, and then we have this darker kind of ocean color and a lighter ocean color, and we have this light blue, which is the background color for the whole package. Okay, so this is light kettle corn, and again I'm going to save it. Light kettle corn, light kettle corn. This can be a really cool exercise, guys, for when you're on a Sunday and when you have nothing to do, and when you have your iPad or phone handy and you just want to create something cool and experiment. Just go outside and take images and, you know, kind of put them together into a mood board or something like that, and that can be really, really helpful to kind of keep for yourself. Okay, save. And now as I'm looking into my Illustrator, again, it has been updated. Hey, oh yeah, there it is. Okay, so now again I'm going to drop it into the Boom Chicka Pop library. Cool. Sean is saying now the true colors are shining through now. Yes. Lori's saying, I know I'm late, but what is Julia working on? Is it a tablet? Yes, it's a tablet. So I actually have my tablet up, and as you are looking, you know, as you are watching me do this, I'm actually working on a tablet. But the images that I was showing you guys a little bit earlier are actually taken with an iPhone. So I have actually just, if I'm clicking the plus and importing the image, if I'm looking at my camera roll, I have taken a lot of different pictures that I wanted to go with you guys through. But let's continue doing this, and let's finish this up so that we can jump onto the next thing. By the way, I think Boom Chicka Pop has really, really cool color palettes, and oh, this is nice. I love this. This is like so interesting and different, and it's so poppy. I'm really enjoying this. Do you guys ever feel like you're kind of like crazy about colors and I don't know, it's just so cool. I think it's really cool. All right, so we have a yellow, we have this pink. Oh, why do we have two? Oh, we have two yellows here. Okay, so we have a blue that's a little darker, and we have a blue that's lighter. Okay, so those two are similar. Did we miss anything? We have yellow, blue, light blue, pink, and we don't have no more colors. Oh my god, this one only has 4 colors. Have you noticed? The other SKUs always had 5 colors. So let's just add a white to it. Then I'm just going to grab this thing here. Yeah, kind of this. This is good. And make this a little bit more blue. Okay. All right. All right, so I'm clicking save. And what was it again? Whoops. Let's see which SKU that was. That was the real butter popcorn. Okay, so real butter popcorn. It's interesting how they kind of connect the colors with the SKUs, because here they're using more yellow, obviously, and this lighter color probably gives a real butter corn feel. Save. There we go. Okay, and again, as I am kind of looking into my Illustrator, again, it's coming up, and I'm organizing it right away because I want to stay organized. I'm not the person to name my layers, by the way. What version of Illustrator am I using? I'm using the latest update. So it's the CC update. So it's not something that you can keep forever. It's it's basically part of the Creative Cloud subscription. And one thing, guys, I wanted to show you how I basically keep myself some inspirations as well. So I have this. I have to look under my table. I have this book, and this book basically is a collection of things of different packaging. So if you look at this page, you will be able to see that half of it is transparent because a lot of it is green. And also you will be able to see that I'm kind of taking labels from the packaging and I'm just keeping them. I'm just keeping them in my book. So now what I can do is, so let's say I want to take a look at the typefaces and this beautiful label here. So as you can see, this is a very beautiful label. And let's say I want to capture the typefaces here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Adobe Capture and I'm going to take a photo. And I'm going to show you guys a little bit closer how this looks. So now I want to go on to type and let's see what kind of typefaces are they using. So this seems to be pretty good. Okay, so I want to check this typeface that they have. Okay, like so. All right, and as you can see, I have some really good suggestions here already. This one is pretty good, the Tondo one. And the cool thing is, as I'm sliding by, I can compare and see if this is really what I want, if this is really the typeface that that is the one. I think this Rubik Regular is also a very, very similar typeface to the Ingredients one. So I think I'm going to select that one and I'm going to save it. And that will be our Ingredients typeface, because as you look at packaging, you will notice that typefaces are being reused over and over again. And Ingredients have a very specific characteristic to them. They're very tiny, so they need to be legible. They need to be legible, and it's information that's actually important, but it's not something that you want to see on the first sight, right? It's not something, oh, something fell down here. It's not something that you need to see at the first sight, right? But you do need to be able to see it. So what companies usually do is they select a typeface that's very, very well legible and select the smallest typeface as possible. As you saw on this label, it was also really, really tiny. So that's what they want to do basically. So I want to name this typeface Ingredients, because I know that I can use this one for the ingredients on packaging. And I'm going to click Save. And now in my Illustrator, I'm going to create a new group, which is going to be called Packaging Typefaces, because I do want to kind of I do want to know what kind of typefaces can I use for ingredients, for for the different headers, for the different descriptions, or for the iconography and so on. So now I'm going to type here packaging typefaces. All right, and then I'm just going to drag and drop this one in here. And as you can see, this typeface has been already activated in my Illustrator, right? So if I'm going to take a text box and I'm going to select this typeface, this will already be there and available for me right away. So now I can go ahead and, you know, I can go ahead and take a look. Is this exactly what I'm thinking it is? And yes, it is. And it's a really beautiful typeface. I'm so happy that I found it. Honestly, it's a beautiful typeface, and it's very well legible, as you can see. Cool. So if we now kind of take a look at this, this typeface is super easy to read. And even if I am kind of using it in a very small typeface, size, you will see that it's still pretty well legible, although it's kind of very, very tiny, right? Okay, so now let's go back to our library panel here. If you guys don't see the library panel at all, you can go onto Window and activate the libraries here. Another one that I think is really, really useful is the Properties one. The Properties panel always shows you the things basically that you need to know about, or the things that you need to or able to adjust for the specific thing that you're doing right now. So right now I have a rectangle selected. It has a color in it, right? It's filled with color. So I'm able to adjust the fill, I'm able to add a stroke, and I'm able to adjust the opacity and so on, and to align it into different objects. But let's jump back into my iPad. It's so cool to hang out with you guys. Awesome. Yes, the whole session is 90 minutes long, so we have another 30 minutes. And I'm really, really excited because we're going to be taking a look at, you know, details and text, and how does packaging look not only from the front but also from the back. And I'm really excited about that. Okay, cool. So let's go into our libraries, and cool. Abdul is saying it's good to use two different type styles in the same place. Yeah, I think it's really cool to kind of combine different typefaces. And let's take a quick look at this label that I was showing you guys earlier. It was actually a really amazing label, and I think they did a great job here to kind of combine the typefaces. As you can see, they're using a serif and then a sans serif for the ingredients, of course, because they're super, super tiny. But also the logo has a very beautiful typeface, and it's even modified. I think I have found a similar typeface. So let's try to find the typeface of Goodfellow. Let's try to find it in our fonts. Yes, this is exactly what I want, the Goodfellow. And then let's take a look what we will get. And we can see we have a lot of similar typefaces. I think this Kepler one looks very, very similar, but I kind of want to have this D that kind of is a little bit slanted. So what am I going to do? I can also just go ahead and choose something like Utopia standard, semi-bold, and I can put it into my Illustrator and I can modify it. I can kind of, you know, add elements just like Goodfellow did, right? Okay, so what else do I have here? Anyway, I have a really good suggestions here. Fright Display Pro Black. And now if I kind of save this one as well, I will be able to access it in Illustrator right away. So now let's jump back into my Illustrator on my desktop, and I will have this typeface already here. And bam, let's see how these two work together if I kind of put them together. All right, so let's write ingredients. And what can the ingredients be? I'm not very creative in ingredients, but here what we can do is we can use this typeface in caps, but then we can also use it in lowercase. So we can write, let's say, water, soap, and perfume. Okay, so this can be a way to use this typeface for packaging. Now let's try and give this kind of like a logo feel, and we're going to use the typeface, the other one, and we're going to say, okay, so this one is called beauty soap, okay? And as you can see, you will be able to see that it has this similar appeal to what we just saw on that label, right? So let's go back to the label and let's take a look. So the label looked like this, right? We have a similar feel to it, the similar kind of design, you know, although those are different typefaces and we're using them in a different way. But this is just, you know, this is just one way how you can kind of grab this inspiration and use it for your future project. So now let's take a look how we can, let's say we want to kind of create a custom logo out of this, and I want to kind of outline this with Command Shift and O. And now let's see what we can do with this. By the way, guys, did you know that if you outline the typeface, you will be able to go into the vector and adjust it? You will be able to go into it, and with the direct selection tool, you can then just go in and adjust the vectors. You can create something custom like this, which does not look very cool. But if we play around with this just a little bit, we will be able to create a custom typeface, right? So we can either go into the different parts of the letter and kind of adjust it just a little bit, or I don't know, we can stretch things out a little bit. Let's say we want to stretch out this Y just a little bit, like so, and create something custom, create something interesting, right? So you don't even need to end up, you know, using the same typeface. You can do your own thing. You can create your own cool thing out of this. But this is how you can see, you know, the correlation between these things that I'm just grabbing randomly, really. And let's say I want to use some of these colors that I've already put into my libraries. And let's say I want to create kind of like a label. Let me create another artboard here real quick. So let's say this is going to be a label, right? And it's going to be a beauty soap. And let's pull this over here. Oops, I have ungrouped that, so now it's kind of acting interesting. Okay, so let's say this is a label, right? And it's not a label for the same product that we have taken the inspiration from, but it's a similar kind of product. Maybe it's also in cosmetics. And let's use one of these colors that we have kind of selected prior. And I'm just grabbing a color from Bum Chica Pop, guys, and it works perfectly for soap as well. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just going to try and show you guys how you can use those assets and how you can kind of create something cool by just, you know, grabbing those assets and putting them together, even though one is from a popcorn brand and one is from a cosmetics brand and one is from, you know, soap brand, and you can put them all together and create something new out of it. And this is the reason why we're kind of creating these libraries. And the second reason is also that we want to understand how, you know, how do brands use color, and you know, Capture can really help you analyze those things and understand those things, right? All right, hopefully you're all doing good. Vivix is saying love the hair color. Thank you so much. Yeah, I actually just tinted it, so it's a little bit purple and blue now. Hey, Typo is saying missing the E. Yeah, totally. Yes, you're right. Booty soap. Booty soap. That sounds funny. Okay, so let's actually jump back into our iPad and let's take a closer look at other things. So guys, we have already a couple colors, we have a couple typefaces, we have these two typefaces that work wonderfully together, right? They're such a great combination of sans serif and serif. And the sans serif can be used for, I don't know, for text blocks, text bodies, and the serif can be used for, let's say, some headings, headers, or I mean, you don't necessarily have to go into packaging. You can also use these things to create social media assets, or to create any kind of experimental designs, right? So now let's go ahead and experiment a little bit. Let's go ahead and use capture to kind of create something interesting. Okay, so let's say I want to take a picture. Let's say I want to create a pattern, right? And I want to take a picture of my hand, which can be really funny. But as you can see the texture of my hand. Really interesting. All I'm doing is basically just covering the camera, and I'm just doing funny things with my hand, literally just like that. So I can show you guys what I'm doing. And the same thing you can do, so you can take a picture of that, which looks really funny. Right now you can see a bunch of nails. But what you can also do is you can take an object. So let's say I have this kind of wooden texture here, and it has a logo in it. And look, now it's a heart. Now those are little hearts. It's kind of cool. So now you can take a picture of that. So let's take a picture of that. It's kind of hard to hold it and taking a picture at the same time. My iPad is so heavy, guys. All right, so now you can see the actual picture and the pattern that has been created out of that. Isn't that cool? I think this is super fun. Cool. Noor saying I applied a new hue to my haircut. Yeah, and also there is a gradient in here that you might see or you might not see, but yeah. Reverb saying now toasted for your pleasure. Cool. All right. Joey saying hi Julia, you're the best. Love your YouTube channel. Yay! Thank you so much. I'm really excited to have you guys there if you want to join me. Reverb is saying now an extra crispy and original recipe flavors. Kaleidoscope, cool, yeah. So let's take a look at this. Let's take a look how we can modify this. So even after we took the picture and we already kind of knew how the pattern will look like, we can go in and adjust the image, and we can kind of like zoom in or zoom out and create this really cool effect, right? We can even turn it around. Super cool. I mean, this is really amazing. Like literally, it's super fun. Okay, so now let's go ahead and create something that looks almost like a heart. Save pattern. Let's call it my hand. Hands. Okay. Save. And now let's see what we can do with that. So we can open it in Illustrator or in Photoshop. So let's open it in Illustrator and let's see how this is going to look like. All right, sending to Illustrator. I'm waiting. What are you guys up to? How was your weekend? I want to know what you guys have been up to. And I have it already on my Illustrator. It's already open here. Isn't that cool? All right, so hands PNG is already in my Illustrator, and I can work with that. I can definitely make something cool out of this. So let's go in and see what we can do. By the way, we have this pattern also saved to our libraries as well. So we can also go in, I believe, and we can just pull it into our design. I want to see if we can make a pattern out of this that we can kind of fill. Oh yeah, look at that. So I have just created a rectangle, and then I have just, you know, clicked on the pattern, and my rectangle got filled with a pattern. I can also go ahead and create, you know, like a random blob and fill it with a pattern. Isn't that cool? And then we can go in and we can also resize this. So we can go in, we can even distort it and create something even more interesting. We can turn it, and then we can also go ahead into the select object, transform, scale. And here, if we unclick transform patterns, that means whenever we scale this blob, the pattern will not move at all. So we will be able to scale it back out. All right. So now let's scale it up. Oh, okay, I see. Now let's scale it down. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go back into Object, Transform, Scale, and we're going to click it back, Transform Patterns. And now when we scale it up, it will move with the object, right? So it will scale with the object. And we can create something really, really cool out of this. I mean, it doesn't even look like my hands anymore. It's just an interesting pattern. And then what you can do is you can either kind of extract the, the pattern out of a capture, or you can go in here and you can go into image trace. Object, I believe it's here. Where is image trace? Oh yeah, here. Image trace. Let's see, can I do this? I think I have to rasterize it first. Object, rasterize. There we go. Okay. Now we have a real object, and now we can go into image trace and we can do 3 colors. That will reduce the amount of colors, and that will create a more abstract feel to this pattern, right? So that's what I want to do. It is a pretty complex pattern. But now if you go in, you have this amazing pattern, and how cool is that? And I just made it literally with one of my hands, super randomly. And now what you can do is you can use this pattern for your branding. So now you can create something really cool out of this. Let's take a look. So let's say, I mean, look at this. Look at the difference. This is the actual image with the pattern, and this is the pattern that we have made, like in 5 minutes. Isn't that cool? All right, so definitely worth experimenting with. Now what we can do is, let's go in here and let's make this rectangle. Is this what I think it is? Let's see. We might need to remove that part here. We can also make this a pattern. So let's go in here and expand. Okay, now we have a vector format of our pattern, right? Now let's remove, actually, let me go into the settings. Image trace. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to remove the background here, the white background. Actually, I will be just able to kind of select the same color. I can still do that. So select same fill color, and now I'm just going to remove that. So now I have just this clean pattern, and now I'm going to create a little clipping mask around here, and let's see if we can make this a pattern, if we can make this an actual, pattern that can fill stuff. So now I'm going to select those and make clipping mask. Right click. Let's see. No, it doesn't let me. Okay. Oh, I see, because it's in one group. Okay. Now again, let's try this again, guys. How are you all feeling? Is this exciting or what? Mr. Godzilla is asking, how did she vector that? I can show that to you in a second. It's called image trace, guys. It's image trace. It's a very interesting tool for you to create amazing stuff like this. All right, so I have created a little square on top, and I'm going to make a clipping mask out of this. So now I have this perfect tile, and the style is going to be my pattern. So what I want to do now is I want to create a pattern out of this so I can use it for any shape in my future, right? So I can use it for a future project. You can even just like create tiles like this and, modify them manually. But what you can also do is you can go onto Object, Pattern, Make. Okay, and now you will see that I'm creating this pattern that I'm going to adjust. Or actually, what you can do is you can fit size tile to art. There we go. And now we have this seamless pattern that we can save to our swatches. So I'm clicking done, and now I have this pattern right here. So whenever now I'm creating a rectangle, I can just fill it with that pattern. It's in our swatches already, right? So this can be really cool, guys, for creating a brand pattern. This can be really nice. You can also go in here in the original one, and you can select the same color, select same fill color, and you can make it one of your library colors. So let's say you want to go for something more poppy, And I'm going to go one of the LaCroix color palettes. Oh, of course, you have to go into the group, select same fill color. All right, so now I'm going into that green, and now as you can see, all of the things that were the other color, this beige color previously, are now green. And I can do the same thing with red or with any color that I want, right? And I can combine those colors just as I want. And now let's say I want to recolor all of the objects that are colored the same as this one. I'm going in and I'm going to click select same fill color, and bam, I can do something like that. Isn't that cool? I think this is super nice. Ooh, I love that. This can be such a lovely tea brand packaging. So you know how like some packagings on the one side, I have actually seen something very similar on my research yesterday. So I'll show you guys what I saw that you can use this pattern for actually. So there is this brand that I saw, and wait, let's see. Actually, let me jump into my photos just like that real quick, so I can show you guys what I've seen where you can actually use this pattern, right? So let's see, where was that? Oh, here. So this brand uses a very similar kind of pattern. It's called Bliss, and they have multiple SKUs. And you can totally use that pattern for you know, for packaging like that. If you look at this, or if you look at that, this is you know, this type of pattern is something that you can use on the sides and just fill it completely on the side of the package. I think that's a really, really cool thing, and I really love their packaging. Let me show you guys some more stuff that I found. I thought this was also really awesome, and I love the color combination. Maybe we can go into that tomorrow as well and take a closer look and create kind of more like a settle color palette with a poppy color. I think that's always really, really cool. Their branding is really, really amazing, and I'm also going to try to find those typefaces that they use because they're really amazing. Okay, so, and now what did I want to do? Oh, the last thing that I wanted to show you guys, how to create an amazing, you know, autumn feel palette. That's what we are going to do right now. And I took this amazing image of some pumpkins. Look at that. They have so many different colors, and I'm going into the colors. And as you can see, there are so many colors of pumpkins, and I think this color palette will really kind of give this feel of autumn and you know, people kind of sharing their time together. Well, not during COVID, but usually, and Halloween and pumpkin spice latte. This is exactly what this color palette is all about. I think this pumpkin color is really, really great. Now we have these two yellows. Maybe we can do something a little bit more on the brown side. Very cool. I'm loving this, guys. I think this is really, really cool. And I think this color palette is already really awesome, and we can already totally use it. So let's save it. And I'm going to save it as pumpkin spice latte or pumpkin spice. All right, cool. And I already have some cool, you know, inspiration to create some kind of card or some kind of invitation. Maybe I have a Halloween party and I want to create an invitation. I already have this amazing color palette that took me just 1 minute to make. So guys, I can encourage you, just try it out and you know, see what you can make out of this. Okay, let's see. Hi Stefan, good to see you. Cool. Sandy saying very nice. Yay. Lenny saying love the pumpkin palette. Yeah, just go to your local supermarket and find some cool pumpkins and take a picture of that. We can do it again with some other ones. So I have taken a couple pictures. Let's take another one. Maybe there will be some other tones because you know, every picture has a different lighting and a different kind of mood. So this one is a little bit more of a close-up. I think this one kind of captures it maybe a little bit better even. So yeah, this is awesome. Cool, look at that. I mean, Those colors are so warm and friendly. I think these will be super, super nice to create something cool out of that. And they look so, autumny. I had to take a picture of that when I saw it because I was like, this is a perfect resource right now. And now you can just, use this palette, save it to your pumpkin collection. Pumpkin spice 2. Or you can be more creative than me with naming the different pumpkin spice variations. Okay, cool. Yeah, and now as I'm going into my Illustrator, I have this pumpkin spice variations here, and I'm going to create a new group, a new group, and it's going to be called pumpkin spice. And I'm going to just take these two and pull them into the group. And as you can see, guys, today in only a couple minutes, well, okay, 1.5 hours almost, we have created all of these wonderful color palettes, and we have created this library for ourselves. And tomorrow we're going to be we're going to be continuing to work on this, and I have some amazing branding things for you guys to take a look at. Oh yeah, Beth has a good question. I wanted to show you guys how to create a vector. So let's say we have this pattern, right? It's an image. Now what I want to do is let's say okay, let's make it really big. So now let's say I want to create a vector out of this. I'm going into object, image trace. Actually, we need to expand this first. So we're going into object, rasterize, and now our pattern becomes an image. And now this image, we can go ahead and image trace. You will also find the image trace option in your properties panel. So what I did was I just selected 3 colors, and yeah. So it will take a while because this is a very complex pattern. But guys, thank you all so much for watching. It's been super fun, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place. Have a great day, and thank you so much again. See you soon. Bye bye.